Welcome back to the channel, guys, and today you join me at the front of Response Motors because a lot of people have been asking what we do here other than work on cars. I wanted to give you a quick tour inside and then we'll head back to the shop. Welcome to the inside, and as you can see behind me here, we have mostly Porsches in our front showroom. So we're pretty much a Porsche enthusiast dealer. Like to really keep a variety of 911s and various Porsche models around. So you're going to see a fair number of 996s, 997s, and now we have 992s. And there's our shop dog, Kona. If you come visit us, you'll see and inevitably hear him because he's very loud. But on top of the Porsches, like to keep a couple other cars around. So we just got this awesome 06 Lotus in. I'm a big fan of these. I used to daily drive in Elise. In fact, just like this, but it was yellow, for about 6 years. So awesome cars, a lot of fun. And if you want to stop by, on October 21st, we're having a Cars and Coffee and kind of an open house. So if you're in the Bay Area, we encourage you to come by, check us out. We're gonna have some fun giveaways, some raffles, and a few games to play as well. So October 21st, I'm gonna put a plug in there. Now let's get back to the shop. All right, guys, you joined me back at the shop. And now that we're finished the welding and we're waiting on some of the stuff for the seam sealer, I'm going to finish cleaning out the inside, pulling the rest of this harness out, get some of the stuff off the back, pull out the glass, and see what else is left underneath so that we can start getting this ready for paint. Finally, getting pretty excited about that. So let's get to it. So in order to get some of the harnesses out, we actually have to remove a bunch of the cooling hoses because they're all tucked behind. Harness is the first thing to go in the car. Therefore, it should really be the last thing to take out. So I've been dreading pulling a lot of these hoses out, but it's about time to do it anyway. So let's get to it. Let's get this out. And that'll pretty much be it for a lot of the hardware, other than some of the bumper supports. Then just pull the harnesses and the glass and we should be about there. So let's go. Pulled out the wiring harness, and if you ever wondered what a 992 GT3 looks like with essentially nothing in it, here you go. This is it. We're getting very close now. Next step is I'm going to pull out the quarter glass, try to get the rear hatch glass off without breaking it because it's really thin. And then it's really time to start sanding this thing down and getting it ready for paint. So super excited. Finally got the harness out. That was a big achievement because you can see how much space it takes up. Here it is on the floor. I've got some of the connectors covered, and I'm gonna actually roll this out and figure out if I can actually buy part of the harness separately. Porsche says I can, but I gotta figure out exactly what I need to buy to replace that front end, so hopefully I don't have to replace this whole harness, but we shall see. But for now, let's look at this quarter glass. From what I can tell, we're gonna remove this weather stripping, and that'll give access to, there's some clips underneath, and if this is anything like the 991, these come off pretty easily. That should allow us to get access to this quarter glass, and then inside, there's a couple bolts here and here we undo, and then back there, there's a few clips. So I think that's gonna get the quarter glass out. So let's give it a shot. I've not pulled quarter glass on a 992 before, so let's give it a shot and see what happens. Pulled out the side glass. Both sides was pretty easy. Now it's time to get going on the back glass. This is thin glass because the GT3s have thinner glass in the rear than the standard car, so you gotta be really, really careful with this, so fingers crossed it's gonna go okay. I'm gonna start by taking off the wing mounts because they're sort of in the way of pulling the glass. So I'm gonna use the standard glass removal tools, which is the cable and handles. We'll give that a try. If you haven't seen my other video about removing the front windshield, just check it out, link in the description below. So let's get to it. So the rear glass has adhesive, it's like under here, but there's quite a bit of space between this and then the outside of the car. So it's actually adhered further in, and then you see there's a lip here. So I can't exactly use my normal cable because it's just gonna eat away at the body. So in order to remove the rear window, I actually got a new tool. This is the DeWalt oscillating tool. I got the DeWalt one just because I had a bunch of batteries already. It was about $150, got it at Ace. But the key is the blade on the end. This I had a special order from a company called Equalizer. It's a fine blade, F-E-I-N, company in Germany that makes these. And you can kind of see there's a serrated edge on there, and that's meant to help cut out the windshield adhesive. The problem is the way it locks. So upon getting the blades, I found out that this style of blade attachment is called the supercut. And this was by Fine to only go on the older Fine tools. They don't even make these tools anymore that you can attach this to, which is super frustrating. To actually have a Fine tool, this didn't work. So I went and bought the DeWalt tool after a whole bunch of messing around, and I got this adapter kind of built. So it comes with a little locking plate, and I managed to finagle this blade onto the DeWalt tool, and actually seems to work pretty well. So we're gonna try this out and use it to get the rear windshield out. Well, it was going pretty well. In fact, it was going really well. And then you can see the glass just spidered. This is thin glass. I really struggled to see how this was gonna be removed without it cracking, because I was pretty darn careful, but it is out now. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to replace it. Oh, it was so close. So close to coming out. I think the tool may have just nicked the glass a little bit, and that was it. Now, I've read a bunch that there's actually been a lot of cases of GT3s with broken glass because it's so thin. Just sitting there, expansion from the heat and cool, and it would just crack. So I'm not super surprised, and I'm sure this is expensive because it's got the heater elements in the back. Oh well, it is getting painted, so small price to pay. So up next, got a little bit of a surprise, so let's get on with it. So next up, I got a little bit of a surprise. I'm gonna cut off the roof. And you might be asking, why are you going to cut off the roof of your GT3? Well, let me show you. Because I bought this. This is the carbon fiber roof that comes on the GT3 as an option. This is brand new from Porsche. In fact, it still says Porsche original parts on the box. So it's a super nice piece, very well made, super, super thin. I mean, it's a few pounds at most. Not like I'm honestly doing this for weight savings, because I don't feel the metal roof is going to be particularly heavy anyway, but it's nice because it comes with all of the sealing, although it came a little broken from Porsche, which was kind of unfortunate. There's a little plastic piece that goes in here. So I will be removing the roof and replacing it with this, but I'm gonna leave the roof off to go to paint, and then I'll be putting this guy in. So really excited about this. I went with the factory OEM roof because if I'm going to put a piece of carbon fiber on the car, especially on the roof, that I can't change out, I want it to be OEM. The OEM is gonna spend a lot of time trying different resins, looking for UV penetration and degradation over time, and the last thing I want to do is stick on an aftermarket carbon roof and have a few years go by and it's all yellowed and disgusting. I know Porsche does a lot of testing, and I'm pretty convinced that this is going to stand up well over the next couple years. Not like it's going to be sitting in the sun that much, but just want to be careful. So I went and spent a little bit extra to get it from Porsche, but I got a bit of a discount on it. So all in all, it was actually not bad, and I'm super excited to put this on. So let's get cutting and let's get the old roof off. We cut off the adhesive on this inside, so all around the inside we cut that off. However, there's still a layer of adhesive on the very front and the very back of the roof. So for this, we're gonna have to use our old trusty cable and handles. So I already shoved the wire through with the windshield removal tool. If you've not seen the windshield removal video I made, I'll put a link in the description below. This is actually the windshield frame here I pulled out. So got this guy, shoved it through, got the cable now on the inside, and we'll attach the handles, and then we'll pull the cable through and hopefully cut the front adhesive, do the same in the back, and that should be it. So it's going pretty well. It's actually not as bad as it seems. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. You can see the roof's off. That took a lot longer than I thought. I cursed myself saying it was actually going pretty well. The inside went pretty easy with the 90-degree oscillator. That just kind of came right off. But it was the front and rear beads where they seal the top down. It was just such a bear. You can see there's this lip. So you drive the wire in and then it would get caught on this lip and it just wants to grind it down the whole time. Real pain. I got the front done pretty well, but the back, holy crap, you probably saw the video, is really struggling with the corner over there because you can see that it's all torn up because the tool just wanted to catch there. And actually it looks like Porsche may have missed the center. I don't know if they intentionally do that or not, but it's definitely missing adhesive there, which we will not have when I put this back together. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. We did a lot of work on the GT3. We pulled off the roof, we pulled off the rear glass, we removed the harness and finished stripping out the inside of the car. And now essentially we have what's known as a body in white, which is a bare body with only a few little clips left to remove, and then we start prepping for paint. Very excited, got a 2-week window here, and then we're gonna get some color on this, and I haven't revealed the color it is going to be, because it is not going to be Ruby Star. You probably wonder why I'm bothering to go through all of this if I'm just gonna repaint it the same color. It's because I'm not gonna repaint it the same color. We're gonna do a full repaint with a different color, and I'm super excited. So stay tuned, click that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, because we've got new content coming every week.